Podcast Sports. Canelo Alvarez versus Daniel Jacobs. And here are your score. Dave Moretti and Steve Weisfield scored it 115-113. Glenn Feldman scored it 116-112. All three scores for your winner via unanimous decision. None other than Canelo Saul Alvarez. And with this win, Saul Alvarez is now the IBF World Middleweight Champ, the WBA Super World Middleweight, and the WBC World Middleweight Champ holder. Of course, big congratulations to Saul Alvarez. But, my question to you, and here's what we need to talk about. Do you agree with the decision? And do you think Canelo will ever lose via decision? All right, let's talk about that first. Thank you very much to ESPN5 in the Philippines for showing it live for free on YouTube. Thank you very much for that. And let's talk about the fight. I mean, round 1 to round number 12, I was actually rooting for Canelo to finish this early, and that was actually my prediction. But Daniel Jacobs surprised me here. And I'm really impressed on how he utilizes the strategy of fighting tall, fighting distant. And he was able to hit Canelo Alvarez with good shots. In fact, on my unofficial scorecard, I gave maybe 6 rounds, and that will make it a tie. But I gave some rounds to Daniel Jacobs, give or take. I mean, I still go to Saul Alvarez, but it was a really tough fight, I believe, for Saul Alvarez, although he wasn't really in trouble. But in terms of scoring points and being able to do the things that Jacobs done in this fight, I think Jacob did a good job. Now, for the 32-year-old Daniel Jacobs, it's a tough loss. He had 3 wins in a row before this fight, and of course his last loss was against Gennady Golovkin. If he won that fight, he could have gotten a rematch with Gennady Golovkin. But nonetheless, it was a good showing for Daniel Jacobs. I think he may deserve a rematch, actually, if you would ask me. And after the fight, when he was asked, he said he would review. He gave his hats off to Canelo still, being a sportsman, but he will review the fight. And I'm sure after that fight, he would say, hey, some of the rounds could either go either way. In fact, some of the round are solid Daniel Jacobs round. Anyway, for Saul Alvarez, who is now at 52 wins, 1 lost, and 2 draw, what's next for this guy? Of course, after the fight, he was asked what he wanted, and he said he'd fight everyone. And of course, a lot of fans is looking to see him fight against Gennady Golovkin once again. They already have a couple of fights. One's a draw, one is a majority decision win in favor of him. And I'm sure Gennady Golovkin wants another piece of Saul Alvarez. Saul Alvarez said he wants it, but I don't think he's really inclined. One of the other potential option for Saul Alvarez is a guy named Demetrius Andrade, who is the WBO world middleweight champion. So that could be a good fight, mainly because he could unify all the belts. Okay, so let's look at Demetrius Andrade's record. 27 victories, no defeats, and of course no draw. He is 31 years old and a southpaw from Rhode Island in the USA. I still want the Gennady Golovkin fight. I still want it, definitely. And Gennady Golovkin, take a look at Daz and USA Twitter account. We're looking at the Gennady Golovkin. Is that Mr. Trejo right there, the actor? Anyway, it was a good fight, and here are the compy box score. Canelo, of course, leading that, and some of the scores being shown here. One other good thing here you notice is that this is the son of Daniel Jacobs. He was asked by his father if he did a good job. He said yes. And this is after the fight, and he felt that his dad won. But of course, that's just it's very inspiring if you're the fighter, if your family is there supporting you. But of course, again, the night belongs to Canelo Alvarez. Everyone think that he would win, and he did in fact win. Again, I was thinking that he would win via knockout or early stoppage, but that did not happen. And what did you think though? I mean, did Canelo deserve that win or that score, or would you have scored it to draw? It was a tight score, so there's really no questions there. Again, it could go either way, but of course, a lot of sentiments could go either way as well. And I wouldn't complain if Daniel Jacobs takes this too. But of course, Canelo is still, I think, the winner of this fight. Again, it's close. So, what do you think? Tell me. Let me know. Comment below and let me know what you think, and also let me know which fighter should Canelo face next. Would it be a rematch, or a third installment of Golovkin, or this the WBO champion? My name is Pau Salute, Powcast Sports. Let's talk. Comment, like, share, follow. Bye. Powcast Sports.